Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Lasham Daily Briefing for Sunday, the 15th of February, 2026. Looking at the synoptic to begin midnight last night, we can see that lovely high pressure that we had yesterday moving its way off to the east again. Another high down to the south, but not quite enough to push all this low out of the way. You can see back to frontal passage at the moment with lows out in the Atlantic there and an occlusion passing overnight. By midday today, the bulk of this weather here started to move through with that occlusion having reached the North Sea by midday. Now seeing a bit of a cold front here as well as this trough coming behind. With that, we can expect some wet, windy weather with low cloud throughout the day. Possible gap sort of 3 hours after this picture, but it's fairly unlikely to be of use to us today. The next couple of days into tomorrow, slightly high pressure, still low pressure locally, but a gap in the weather with a steady westerly flow there. And into Tuesday, a little bit showery, potentially with this decaying cold front here. And then much the same into Wednesday, high pressure returning, this time from the north. So potentially quite a nice day there on Tuesday. And to Wednesday again, low pressure back, but a possible usable window there as the front advance from the south. Back to today, we can see here very, very thick cloud over the south of the UK, completely overcast. And the rain radar showing very heavy rain in places, a little bit worse than north of us, but consistent rain on the horizon. Look at the Met Office forecast for rain. Let's run this through fairly quickly. See, there's this possibly a very, very brief gap there for about 10 minutes to an hour or two, possibly, if you're lucky. But throughout the rest of the day, we're really not clearing until about 3 or 4 o'clock, at which point there are more showers close behind. Odium's observations this morning, they're showing 160, so southeasterly, 14 knots. 9 kilometers of visibility with light rain and overcast at 600 feet, and a temp and dew point split there of 4 and 3 degrees. The Farnborough Taff, they're showing once again southeasterly about 11 knots, 170. 10 kilometer viz with cloud that's broken at 2,000 feet. And then reduced visibility and light rain broken at 1,200 feet this morning, and a prob 40 of drizzle and broken at 700 feet during that same period as well. Also showing southerly wind 0, 15 gusting 25 for the wind, becoming more southwesterly from about 1 o'clock onwards. And then from 3 o'clock, poor visibility once again with heavy rain and heavy showers. Winds aloft, northwesterly to the south of us, that's 30 to 35 knots, and to the north, looking a bit more southwesterly, 15 to 20 knots. So we can average somewhere in between there. This is the wind forecast here from Lasham on windy, showing steady southerly flow across the airfield. We just put that to later on this afternoon, you can see that has become more southwesterly. The local Met Office forecast showing speeds initially about 15 gusting 25 in line with the Taff, reducing as it comes around to the west. Very high humidity throughout today, with poor, sort of moderate to poor visibility. And you can see here on the symbolic forecast, rain until about 2 o'clock when it starts to reduce. GFS showing us best temperature today of around about 4 or 5 degrees. A dew point of about 4 degrees there. And presently we're at 3.8 with a dew point of 2. It's the view on the south side looking west. You can see that brisk wind there, low cloud and rain. Cross section showing much the same, and where we've been expecting that little bit of a gap in the rain this afternoon, there's actually showing here on SkySight, but what they're not showing is a change in the cloud base. Still expecting low cloud below 1,000 feet. NOTAMs, nothing to concern us on the basis of that forecast. So, cloud allocations, so there were 221s on booked flying in one of the casual list, but critically, the simulator is available for use today. No movements expected at this time. And in summary, once again, low pressure is dominant after our brief yesterday. Passing occlusion and cold front, leading to low cloud and rain for much of the day. We have a southerly wind to begin, becoming southwesterly mid-afternoon and reducing in strength, but there's not a sufficient window to set up today, given the field conditions, so flying is scrubbed for today. We'll hope for better luck tomorrow. We'll see you hopefully Monday and Tuesday, and have a good day, whatever you do. Thanks very much.